Molly, Purple Door Psychic here, coming to you with our next set in the Wicca Wednesday-Divination series, Runes. Now, last time we talked about tarot cards and how fantastic they are and what you can do with tarot cards. Now we're talking about runes, which are a lot different than tarot cards, but similar in the same way. So, for starters, runes are much, much older than tarot cards. They go back to, sources say, 3 BCE, so 3 before Common Era, but I think that they go back even further than that. I think they predate kind of like written history, so they are more along the oral history signs, and they come from Germanic and Nordic. Yes, I'm sorry, it's been a long day. Germanic and Nordic tribes. So yeah, when you think runes, you think Vikings. That's pretty much the culture that it comes from. And runes can be made from just about anything. They can be made from wood, they can be made from metal, they can be made from glass, they can be made from stone. Or bone. Back in the day, they were made a lot from wood and from bone, and if they could etch them into stones, they would etch them into stone. So I'm going to show you a couple different types of runes. First is mine, where this is not necessarily something that they would do because these are precious stones. So my rune set, as you can see, they are all carved onto amethysts. So here is what they look like. And as you can see, they offer a lot of different symbols on them. Now there's 24 symbols altogether that are in a old Germanic alphabet. I'm not going to say the name of it because I butcher it every single time. And so you can definitely do a lot more research on it. I'll put some links below. And then these are my daughters. They're made out of river stones. And I don't know if you can see that too well, but see how hers is a lot more faint than mine are. But this just goes to show that you can put them on any kind of material that you want to try and cast them. So the easiest way to cast your runes is to pretty much sorry, brain fog a little bit. So you definitely want to consecrate your runes, just like, as I mentioned, you want to consecrate your tarot cards, and you want to be the only person using your tarot cards. And like I said, I have my personal deck for when I do my readings, then I have my learning deck, my tutorial deck for when I'm doing the Tarot Tuesdays and I'm teaching people how to use tarot cards. This bag right here that holds the amethyst ones, this is my set. I am the only one to use this rune set, and I'm the only one who touches this rune set. Now my daughters, as you see, I touched hers. This is more like the beginner's guide. This is more like the learner's one, because more people than just I touch this one. My daughter touches it, my son touches it as well, sometimes my husband. So you just want to make sure that if you're doing your own personal readings and everything, that you have your own personal set. And it's okay to have different sets for different occasions. I mean, they're not that hard to make, they're not that hard to do. You can go to any kind of craft store, you can even get those little like glass stones that they have like at the Dollar Tree or whatnot, and create tarot runes out of that just by like writing on them with a gold Sharpie or something. So you can make your runes yourself. So they're not as expensive as tarot cards are, but you definitely want to go ahead and make, you want to make sure that you are the one that, for your more expensive set, like my amethyst ones that cost a pretty penny. That's why I'm the only one who uses it. My daughters, where there are the river rocks, we all use them. So when you're casting, some of them may be reverse or upside down. And if this is the case, then the rune would hold the same kind of principle meaning as we see with the tarot cards, where upright, it's one meaning, reverse, it's the complete and total opposite meaning. And so if you did the legs rune, which means protection, if you pull that rune and it's upside down, it would mean that you were unprotected, not protected. And there's not too many multiple meanings to runes. I mean, they're pretty straightforward compared to tarot cards. And there are quite a few runes that do not necessarily have reverse or upright meaning, because they're just how they are, is just the same way how they're done. One is shaped like an X, one is just an I. So you have that to look forward to, where they just that's the one meaning. They will always mean that meaning. And I also put links to the different meanings down below because I cannot tell you all the meanings off the top of my head right now. So how you want to do is how you want to cast is just have a flat surface to cast them on. You can go ahead and use a rune casting cloth if you want. You don't necessarily have to, but just a cloth or a flat surface, just put them on, and you want to face north. You always want to face north when you're casting this. And then you want to go ahead and ask your question. And then you pull your rune or your runes. So there are two ways to do this. So you can do a single rune cast, which means, and I'm going to grab my runes right now, which means that what you do is you think Yahtzee just a little bit, just shake them up in the bag, and then ask your question, and then toss the rune out onto the table. And so, oh, awesome. So this one is one of those runes that is neither upright nor reverse. So it will always be the same no matter what. So you pretty much do that to do like a one kind of like with the tarot cards, just a one card pull. This is just a one rune cast. And then you can do like a 3 rune cast where you will pull 3 runes from your set. The first on the left represents the past, the middle represents the present, the right represents the future. So it's the same as a 3 card pull for tarot cards. And so there are also other ones that you can do to the point where you're like casting all 24 of them. The easiest ones to start out with really quick and getting used to that, and also learning about the runic alphabet, is to go ahead and do the single cast and then the 3 cast, because it is simple, it is easy for beginners, and it is one of the most fantastic things that you can do to kind of like play around with different forms of divination. Now, runes are not necessarily like tarot cards where they're going to be like, okay, hey, so you have your past, present, and future, and this is possible outcome if you do the X, Y, and Z. The runes are more like, yeah, it could go this way or it could go the other way. It just depends on your attitude and depends on what you're willing to do. So they're a little bit more ambiguous, and they're a little bit more like talking with a therapist, if that makes any sense. So they're a little bit more of, okay, here's a possibility, but are you going to take this outcome or are you going to go the other way? Or, let's go ahead and explore what would happen with these different kinds of outcomes. So they're different in tarot cards in that way, but as with all divination tools, it's one possible outcome. They're not as fortune telling aspect as tarot cards are. They're just more, like I said, they're more ambiguous. Although there are other ways that you can use runes, and we will get into that when I start talking about more like along the lines of protection spells and protection casting and everything else in the next couple of weeks. So that's all about runes. And as I mentioned, there will be a link down below to a guide to the runic alphabet. That way you can go ahead and have kind of a cheat sheet while you're doing the runes. I will admit, I do not cast the runes as much as I should anymore. I probably should start casting them a lot more, to be honest with you. That's going to be one of my little goals for this year, is to do better with my runes. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time on all my socials, and also my Gmail, purpledorpsychic@gmail.com. And I wish you all the best and have a blessed day.